All right, the coach will have Kirk and sit at the podium, Charlie. He's coming. Coaching Kirk Cousins. Close the door in the back, please. Noise.
After the first game, what we try to do is find a way to win, evaluate a lot of personnel, which we were able to do today, and some good things and some poor things. We'll take a look at the things we did poorly, hopefully improve in those areas, and the things that we good, hopefully we can build on that.
Kirk is obviously a proven commodity at this point, but he just seems to be so much in command and just confident and in this offense knowing what he's got to do. I mean, do you see that progression from him from year one to year two?
Well, for him to win the second position last year, he really had to do it quickly, and he's been able to do that. Yeah, he's been impressive. From the moment that he got here, he's a student of the game. He's got a lot of God-given talent. Extremely bright guy that works extremely hard, and we're starting to put together some continuity with some new guys a year ago, and they're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with the scheme. So hopefully we can build on that.
What did you think of the way he spread the ball around? What did you think of the way he spread the ball around those first 5 completions, 5 different guys?
Yeah, you really don't know. He has no idea who's going to get the ball. It all depends what the secondary does. So he goes through a progression, and he couldn't tell you, at the start who was going to get the ball. But he does a great job reading defenses, and did a good job spreading around.
Mike, do you have a status update on Robert and the next step of the plan? You said you'd evaluate him during this little break here.
Well, what we'll do for a couple days is we'll get him some walkthroughs at the start of practice, with our offense, and we'll do that for a couple days, and then we're going to get in the game plan week, which will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which would be like normal season practice schedule. And that will be in Richmond, so we'll get a chance to do that. And so we'll give him, some walkthrough that he has gotten, and it won't be against anybody, any defense, but that'll be the first step.
And then Tuesday is the defense, the team drills?
Saturday and Monday, yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be like a normal Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in preparation for Pittsburgh.
So it seems like he'll practice 11 on 11 then, you're saying?
No. I'm saying that there's no defense out there. He'll take our walkthroughs.
So was him being in uniform part of the plan tonight?
Well, I told him, he worked out beforehand about a half hour, 40 minutes. I said, if you'd like to go through pregame warm-ups, you're welcome to. As I said to a number of players, a number of our players got a full workout earlier today, and every guy had the right to, go out there and get a little bit more of a workout, and Robert wanted to get some more work done, so it was good to see him out there.
So just to be clear, you have not set a date for team drills for him to start?
No.
Coach, how much of a lift is it to have Brian Arakpo back?
Pardon me?
How much of a lift is it to have Brian Arakpo back?
Oh, it's great to have our starters from a year ago. We lose a couple guys early. It's always nice to get them back in the lineup.
Coach, do you have any update on Phil Thomas and Jeremy Kimbrough? Both got hurt pretty badly.
Yeah, Kimbrough had a separated shoulder. And who else did you mention?
Phil Thomas.
Phil Thomas had a midfoot sprain, quite sore. We'll find out here in the next day or two and see how they are.
Coach McCarry got a little bit of a lesson tonight about the speed of the NFL and some things that you can't do, huh?
Yeah, it's a learning experience for all our young guys as well as our older guys. We had a few mistakes out there, and hopefully we correct them. But I liked our tempo. I liked our attitude. I thought our guys played hard. Played a full 60 minutes, which you're looking for. We got a chance to evaluate a lot of people today, and so that was a big plus.
What did you think of your running backs? The way Roy was able to kind of pick up where he left off year before last.
Yeah, I was really impressed. It was nice to see Lou do a good job. I thought he handled himself well, and I thought Reiser did a great job when he got in there. And I got to take a look at the film, but my initial thoughts were very impressed with both.
Coach, last time you was here, you had a chance to visit with Mike Heimerdinger, old friend and former coach. Does this bring back any memories being back, and what's your favorite memory of Mike?
Well, I got a lot of great memories of Mike. Mike and I, grew up together. We were college roommates. They put us in the same dorm together, and so he was a receiver, I was a quarterback, so we got a chance to, play some football together. But he's my closest friend, and to come back and tribute to him the last couple of years at the golf tournament, and Kathy and his family, to be part of it as well as his family, it was special to me. But Mike, I got so many great memories. I think the best one is when I went to visit him one time in college, and he kept on giving me a hard time because I remember watching him play baseball. I got there in the ninth inning, he hit a grand slam, so he blamed it on me that he would have done more of that if I would have been more of his game. So, special guy.
Coach, sorry to have to go back to football after that, but the amount of penalties, is that a big concern, just a mild concern? How would you kind of describe that?
Well, you always go back, and it's always a big concern. Every mistake you make is a big concern. We're going to go back and hopefully limit some of those mistakes, especially the silly mistakes. Some of those silly penalties that you got a 3rd and 15, or you do something in the end zone where you give the offense good field position. Different things that you got to be more of a disciplined team to overcome those mistakes. So hopefully we'll improve at that very quickly.
Like, what do you think of Pat? And I don't think we've seen you go read option in that way in the preseason since you last couple of years. Was that just a chance to get him comfortable and put him in a good spot to succeed?
Well, we didn't do the read option because nobody was really sure if we were going to do it. That's the reason why we didn't do it last year. Everybody knows we've got it in our game plan, and Pat does a pretty good job running it. So we wanted to give him the chance to be successful. We didn't run it but a couple times, but I thought Pat did a great job just running our offense. Had a couple read options in there, but kept it twice, I believe twice. One was a big play, and one was probably back to the line of scrimmage. So we just try to throw the whole book at everybody, and hopefully you get a little experience as you go through these preseason games.
All right.
Okay,
Kirk,
thanks.
2 minutes, guys. Kirk, 1 minute. Thanks for going.
You guys will never believe it. You're dealing with a bad.
Good move, GP. Good move. Veteran move. Is Kirk right now? Yeah. We'll say 2 minutes.
How many times? How many times?
Go to the locker room, basically what you're saying.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, or he did talk about.
Do you need Kirk?
They tried to get him saved.
I don't. Tony time is.
Kirk Cousins.
See?
What?
We were discussing your time. Tony time is never right.
Obviously you proved yourself last year, but do you feel even more comfortable in this offense and just the command of it? Because it seems like you have gone to another level.
Yeah, I would say your observations are correct. I've been in a constant growing process where I got more comfortable through OTAs and minicamp, but then I got more comfortable now through the first 2 weeks of training camp, and I'm sure when I talk to you after the Pittsburgh game, I'll be even more comfortable. It's a constant process, and hopefully year 3, 4, 5, if I get to play that long or beyond, I'll be even more comfortable. It's a constant learning process. I'm constantly tough on myself in practice so that hopefully games can be easier.
Kirk, your first 5 completions were to 5 different receivers. Is that normally an indication that you're just kind of taking what's being given, and as a quarterback, do you take any pride in that at all?
I really was just going where the call dictated. It's unique that it was to 5 different guys. It's neat to get everybody involved. I think that's something that we'd like to see happen in the offense, but it certainly wasn't by design. It was simply where my reads were taking me.
It's only the preseason, but what does it mean to this offense to have Fred Davis back out there making plays?
We feel like we have a lot of depth in this team. At the tight end position, you can see it very clearly with Fred Davis, Logan Paulson, Niles Paul, Jordan Reed. I mean, the list goes on and on. The game-winning touchdown was caught by a rookie at tight end in OGB, we call him. So, got a lot of talent, and it's going to be a tough job for the coaches to decide who they want to keep at that position especially. But Fred certainly is a talent and a guy who's played a lot of football here, and we love seeing him show up in the stat line there with a touchdown catch.
Kirk, you had a couple of big third down throws, even on the first series to Santana, one to Fred on the scoring drive. How important, even though it's a preseason game, just to be able to convert on third down, keep those chains moving, and kind of develop that rhythm?
Yeah, quarterbacks are many times measured on how they do on third downs. You're going to get in third down situations, third and medium, as we call it, 5 to 7 yards, and you've got to be able to convert on those to come away with points. And did a good job of that tonight, I think, all the way through the game. And we'll go back and watch the film, be tough on ourselves, and make sure when we weren't effective in that, we'll do a much better job next week.
Hey, Kirk, this offense that Kyle has put together, and the things that you can do in it, as a quarterback with your type of ability, it's got to be a lot of fun when it's all just moving and you're cycling through the reads. I mean, does it get to where it's really just fun with this whole thing?
That's a great observation. This offense is unique because you're so effective with the outside zone and with the running game that Coach Shanahan had years back in Denver. We still have those principles, but then you add the play action off of it, the keepers where we fake the zone and boot away. I mean, that puts defenses in a bind, and then you add the zone read, which we call the 50 series, and the athleticism of a Robert or a Pat White as well, which is much better even than my own athleticism. So a lot of dimensions there, and you got a lot of intelligence coming from the Shanahan. So it's a great place to be as a quarterback, which is one of the reasons why I feel very happy to be here.
One of the things that Mike and Kyle both said is that even if Robert's not in there, they have the confidence that you can operate this thing at the same level. And I mean, do you feel now that, I mean, it just seems like you, both in practice, and I know it's just a preseason game, but it seems like you're at a point where you're cycling through these things, and it's just like, I don't know if easy is the word, but you know what I'm trying to say?
No, I think the first preseason game is a great measuring stick compared to last year's first preseason game. I could pause today and look back and say, okay, where have I grown from a year ago at this time to now? And I can see how much more comfortable I am in calling the play, getting the line of scrimmage, identifying the coverages, identifying the fronts, getting in and out of the right and wrong plays, and being able to make quick decisions and like you said, get the ball around and get completion. So all that comes from all this practice and work that we've done now for the last year, and we just need to keep getting better and better.
Time you spent around Pat White, do you get any sense of what a night like this might mean to him after being out of the game with the time he's been?
I think it's just a great start. I feel like Pat is a gamer, if you will, and he's going to play very well in big moments. And I think a crunch time situation like that with 2 minutes left is a situation that Pat is built for. And, while he has been away from football, I mean, he also, through OTAs and minicamp and now training camp, has been getting back into it. So I think by now, coming back out in a game like tonight, he's ready to do it, and it's old hat now. He's kind of worn off the rust.
All right, gang?
Thanks, guys.
All right. It's over here. It's been over. Thanks, Kirk. Get out of here. Get out of here.
All right. You want to try? All right. So I'm going to try putting this in, switching it to play, and playing it. See if we can straighten it. Is this the interview? If not, I'm ready to drop it in here.
Theoretically, it should work.
Right?
Pat, Redskins win it. You have a couple nice plays. How did it feel out there today?
Felt good to get back on the field and compete. For us to put that drive together and put points on the board and come out victorious, I know it meant a lot to the fellas, so I'm happy to be a part of it.
It had to feel good to be back playing quarterback, making plays, and under the lights.
It definitely felt good. It's been a while for me, so
that's what I'm talking about.
To get out there and compete, it's definitely a blessing, and I
feel comfortable.
I got a lot of work to do, but I'm getting more comfortable every day. So
nobody wanted to see a tie in this preseason game. The 2-point conversion. Tell us about that game-winning play.
The receiver did a great job of, I guess, getting open. The offensive line did a great job of holding their blocks for more than 4 seconds. So kind of scrambling around a little bit and found an open guy and we came out victorious.
When did you know you were going to run on the touchdown run?
When I didn't see anybody open.
we called the quarterback draw. I said, he's going to run it.
Well, it was actually a pass play. They just,
I know that.
Just found nobody open and parted like a Red Sea, so I took off.
Congratulations. Well done, and we'll see you down in Richmond.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Pat White. Kirk Cousins, we'll wait till you button it.
Thank you.
Hey, you're looking good.
Trying.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Kirk, Redskins get the W, and always want to win any ball game you're in. How do you think you did in the first half?
I think it was smooth. I felt good about the way our offense moved the ball. I felt good about the way we were efficient, and felt like we both ran and passed the ball well. So really no complaints right now.
5 of 7. That's not too shabby.
You know what? I definitely want to have efficiency and keep that completion percentage up, which shows I'm making the right decisions, and we'll have to keep building on it, and it'll certainly get harder from here.
Bootlegs, man. You could have picked anybody on some of those passes.
Yeah, they had a good scheme for us to be able to get those keepers out and get on the edge and find the open guy, and Fred Davis did a nice job on the touchdown pass of just settling in an open space. He was uncovered.
When you run the stretch a few times, it just opens it up, doesn't it?
Exactly. The outside zone that we run is so effective, and it makes teams have to pick and choose. They either have to defend that outside zone or they have to defend the keeper, but it's tough to defend both, and it really puts teams in a bind.
Well done, my friend. We'll see you down in Richmond.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Get back to work again and hopefully be ready for Pittsburgh.
You going to play more?
That'd be my assumption, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right, Kirk Cousins in the winning Redskins locker room. Well, 3, 2, 1. Coach, always like to get a win. We appreciated the 2-point conversion. Everybody did.
Yeah.
Tell us about what happened today here in Nashville.
Well, I think it's always nice to come away with a win. That's the first thing we talk about. But, you know, what you do after your first preseason game is you go back and you take a look at the things you did well and the things you did poorly. We did a lot of things poorly today that we'll go back and study and hopefully eliminate a lot of those mistakes. But we're going to get a chance to evaluate a lot of players because a lot of players played today.
Coach, I was impressed with the play of the quarterbacks. I thought they took their reads and made good plays, good decisions with the football.
I did too. I thought they did a good job. You know, we threw a lot at them, you know, throughout our camp at Richmond. I thought they handled themselves well.
Loved your first pick. Well, he's a football player, Emerson.
Yeah, he is. He's a heck of a football player and makes some plays. You can see he can tackle, and he's going to help us.
Great instinct going after the ball.
Yeah, very good instincts. He's got that length that you look for. He's got the speed, so he hopefully can keep on building on that.
Coach, we were talking to Kirk about how those boots, I mean, he could have picked a couple open people. I mean, that play was certainly working tonight.
It was. You know, he did a good job. You know, just executing the game plan and wasn't in there a lot, but what he did was extremely great. You know, after that first drive, it looked like we had the first down and we didn't get it. We had a chance to get it with Hank. And then he keeps his poise and does a great job executing down the field.
Your third quarterback, Pat White, he acquitted himself. I didn't expect this from him. He played well.
He did. You know, Pat he's got a lot to him. You know, you can see why, you know, he's had the success that he's had. You know, he can make some plays. It was evident today in a couple broken plays where he made the plays on his own.
Redskins win. Congratulations, Coach.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right.